Yo, what's up, guys? Hope you're having a good day so far. Today is, what is today? Thursday, August 11th. Hope you guys are doing good. Really good day so far for me. Trading has been pretty solid. Pretty solid. I gotta put some music on. Lo-fi, hip hop. Past couple of days have been really good. Fucking Good RX was like a massive play. Today, really good. Still testing out this new trading strategy that I'm messing with. A lot of people I saw in comments were asking me about this, so I figured that this could be a good way for me to kind of go through and talk about the new trading strategy, like what specifically I'm doing, why I'm messing with it, and ultimately what I plan to do in the future. Because the goal is to kind of set this, back test it, see where it goes, watch all the profits hopefully happen, and then decide on there how that goes. Shente Rios, what's up, guys? If you're in here, let me know. Comment so I can see your name. Hit the like button. There's 55 people on and we got 4 likes. We're gonna go over Tesla. We're gonna go over the new strategy. Like I said, we're gonna talk about the market as a whole. We can talk about Coinbase. I see Parker asking about Coinbase. If you guys have any tickers or any questions, let me know. Put them in the chat section and we will get through them. My goal for these is normally going to be something along the lines of like maybe 30 minutes, and then they go way too far. So hit the like button. There's 72 people, 15 likes. Dude, they're telling me to add an ad right now. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that right now. What's up, Justin? What's up, Zay? What's up, Ali? What's up, James? Let's go through and we'll talk about Tesla first. Then we'll kind of talk about this new thing that I've been working with, this new strategy. It's super simple. And like the biggest thing I try to push to you guys a lot is that like trading is simple. Trading should be simple, right? The more you try to overanalyze or try to make something seem harder than it has to be, I feel the harder it's just going to be. Like, it doesn't have to be that hard, so you don't need to make it that way. Juan, what's up? Sunshine, what's up? Neo Fangirl Cutie Pie, what's up? Gavin, love your analysis. Thank you, bro. Long-term investor, hope to make a portfolio to swing trade one day. Dude, yeah, I think that's the best. Like, I don't want to go too sideways here, but like I feel, and I say this a lot, like making a living off of trade, like I shouldn't say this, not making a living, growing your wealth off of trading alone is like not the way to do it, right? Like to make 500 grand a year trading is really hard. What I do is I trade and then I put it all into my long-term portfolio and then I sell cash secured puts with it. So I think having a mix is great. Let's go through Tesla first, and then we'll go through some of your questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type that in, anything you have. So I also got a split keyboard. So if my typing is like slow as shit today, please bear with me. So looking at Tesla, I'm completely out. So I have my long-term shares, but I don't plan to trade this anytime soon. The biggest thing I want to push to you guys is that you do not have to trade if you don't feel confident, right? I make these videos every day about Tesla because that's stuff that you guys want to see. But if you notice, like 99% of the time, I'm not trading Tesla. Tesla is something that's very hard to trade, similar to the S&P 500, because myself, as a flow trader, somebody who's watching unusual options activity come through all day, it's very hard for me to decipher what is coming through because there's just so much coming through. Because this is which minute? This is a daily chart. Because there's so much noise. Less noise, the better it can be, right? So for instance, if we look at like MRK as a position I took today due to some unusual options activity. So we'll look at this really quickly, right? But if you look at MRK, this is all of the flow for MRK today. This is it. So you can see, hopefully this tool will help you a little bit better. You can see this flow that came through. So you can tell that with this flow that hit today, that's unusual as hell, right? There's not a ton. And Rosum, fuck that person. That's a scam. Guys, be careful of scams on YouTube. I don't know how to remove this comment, but be careful of scams on YouTube. I'm just going to put this out as a public announcement. I think I can remove them here. Hide user on this channel. So be careful of scams. I don't like, and not just me, any financial YouTuber. Like, I don't trade crypto. I don't have Telegram. I don't have WhatsApp. Nobody's gonna make you money in the comment section. Like, don't ever pay attention to that shit. But what I was going back to and saying blocked. Thank you. So what I was trying to say is that I like to trade stocks where there's less noise. Less noise is a lot easier for me to pay attention to the flow, therefore trade off of that. Oh, you can limit the chat to subscribers. That's a good move. I'm going to have to do that. I might have to I might have to get a moderator while I do this at some point, but it's okay. But for me, I want less noise. So if you look at all the flow, any flow that has come through today on MRK, you can see that's a big flow. I'll take a position on MRK, and on MRK, I'm already up. So if you look at something like Tesla, like this is all the flow on Tesla so far today, right? It's a lot to go through, and a lot of these could be hedges. That's why I don't trade Tesla that much, because it's a lot harder to dictate where the stock is going to go from a flow basis. So that is why I don't usually really pay too much attention to Tesla unless it's like a really, really big flow or there's a ton of them hitting. So for Tesla, overall, I'm just not touching this. There is a good cup and handle here. So you guys can see this is the cup and handle that I'm watching. So we have this shallow cup, and you can see that within this cup that this is where we had that pennant that was happening for a bit. We had that squeeze, we have that breakout, and it does look like we could retrace on Tesla back down to 830 in the next day, 2 days, 3 days, and then from there potentially bounce. Let me go through and bounce off of that 830 area back up to 916 and potentially break up through 916 up to $1,000. So right now at this point, I am not a huge fan either way. I don't trust the market. I don't like where the market is, but we do have a cup and handle, which is pretty damn bullish. So take that with whatever you will. Looking at the MACD did cross to the downside today. The money flow is pointing down. The stochastic RSI is hitting lows. Now, what I would want to see if we were to bounce is a drop in Tesla down to 833, the stochastic RSI to cross to the upside, the money flow to point back to the upside, and getting some buying pressure to come in. That would drive us up. So big bullish setup, but I'm just not taking a position quite yet. I might sell some cash secure puts if we hit the 830s. Sunshine, Monday, Tuesday, expecting a rally before the split. We could. I mean, split news, like, inherently really does not do much for the stock. It's just only in recent history that we've seen that happen. Make sure you guys hit the like button. We're only at 48 likes. We got to get this out there. Love to hear your thoughts on Plug in the short term. Let's take a look at Plug. So Plug, pretty damn good rally since we hit those lows. Personally, like, I wouldn't chase this, honestly. Like, we've been using this resistance range for a bit. There's a big resistance at $29 on the weekly. That 100-day SMA is a big resistance. And you can see here, there's not a lot of volume up above this. I'll throw this out here. There's not a lot of volume up above 28 bucks. But for me personally, like, I wouldn't go chasing this. We're really overvalued, or not overvalued, but we're overbought on the money flow. I wouldn't chase it. If you're in it, you can let it run to see if we can push up to 31.50. But for me, like, I really personally wouldn't chase it where we are. Love your analysis. Thank you, Gavin. Can't wait for your vids. Thanks from the UK. What's up, David? Thank you so much. Mohammed, what's up, brother? Brandon, what's up? Percy, what's up, my friend? Shente, waiting for the housing market to crash. Bro, I feel you, man. I've been waiting for too long. I'm waiting, though. I'm going to do some more real estate videos on the other channel soon, because I've a lot of capital I want to deploy for that. Can you see the day chart? Each candle's 1 day, bottom, head, and shoulders. Is that on Tesla? Yeah, I usually watch the daily chart for most stuff. This new thing I've been watching, we do have a head and shoulders potentially forming on the daily, if this is what you're talking about. I was watching this shoulder, head, and then a potential shoulder, and then that would ultimately mean a break back down. So there's a lot of shit going on, but for me, I'm just not going to end up entering a position Why did that happen? I'm not going to enter a position because there's just so much. Neo Fangirl, thank you so much for the super chat. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me see. Cost average up on Tesla. Got to buy. I feel you, man. And once the split happens, it'll be really good for anybody who sells cash secured puts or anybody who does anything like that. Like, that's a really big reason for me. So now I can start selling cash secured puts, because normally it's going to tie up like 80 grand to sell a cash secured puts. And for most people, that's just like ridiculous. Let me see. BNGO 1000. Dude, holy shit, man. I know. So I have not been burnt by BNGO before, but I saw everything that happened last time. So for me, if you made money on BNGO, good for you. Personally, not something that I would touch at this point, just for me. I'm also very conservative when it comes to trading. I'm going to limit it to people who are only subscribed. That's a good move, Ergo. I have to figure that out. Jason, thanks for sharing your knowledge, enjoying learning and listening. Thank you. Great stream to have you live daily at the open. Wolfman, I want to do that. So my goal would be to stream every single morning at open, but I opened up a ton of one-on-one coaching calls like 2 months ago. I haven't even opened any more since. And they filled up so quickly. And most of those people want to do a weekly or every other week coaching call. So most of the time, I'm not even here at open. Like, if you're part of the premium group, I don't really start trading until like 10:30. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll talk about that in a bit, though. What's your take on Palantir? Asking for a friend. Long term, I'm gonna do a video, so I don't want to go too much into it right now. But I am gonna do a video relatively soon, probably today or tomorrow. Old support where we are right now, which is going to be a new resistance. I'm really not a fan of Palantir, to be quite honest. Like, I personally wouldn't trade this. I think that the only way I would touch Palantir is if you really do believe in it long term. For me, I just think that there's so many better trade opportunities out there right now versus Palantir. So I would say personally, I would not be trading Palantir. It looks like we might get a bear flag here. If we snap $9, like, this thing is really going to dive back to the 6s. Let me see. Thanks, Pete. What's up, Mike? Ever sell vertical puts on Tesla 45 days out? Yeah, verticals aren't bad. There's a lot. I want to start talking more about like verticals, butterflies, condors, and stuff. Something I want to do in a different video. Abdullah, would you talk about LLY, please? Yeah, so LLY is a position I took in the premium group today. I don't remember my exact position. Let me go to my positions. Yeah, so I got some calls. All right, let's talk about this. So recently, I've been testing a new strategy. My main strategy, I'm gonna just go ahead and share my secrets with you guys, right? My main strategy is usually based off of unusual options activity coupled with a solid setup technically. So, for instance, let's look at MRK. First, looking at MRK, we had a lot of unusual options activity coming through. We talked about that one massive unusual flow that came through. So that's the first check mark. The second check mark is going to be the fact that we looked like we were going to snap support. We ended up holding, and now the MACD looks like it's going to cross to the upside. The money flow is pointing straight up, and the stochastic RSI doesn't look as good as I want it to, but it does look pretty solid. And there's not a lot of volume above $90. So with an unusual options flow, with the fact that it looks like we could probably see MRK push back up to maybe 91, 92, 95, and a good risk versus reward, that's all I need, right? That's all I need right now to take a position. Now, the new position that I've been messing with and the new strategy I've been messing with is on a 30-minute time frame. And I'll just go through this really quickly. It might be kind of hard for you guys to see, but we'll talk about this. So this strategy is entirely based around the 13 EMA crossing up through the 26 EMA. Now, you can do this with an 11 EMA crossing up through the 22 EMA. The only difference is going to be that the 11 and the 22 is going to happen faster. That's the only thing. So that's going to be a faster move. Now, the reason I've been testing this is just because looking at most of my analysis, this is going to beat what, the return would be on most of what the underlying assets would do. So I'll go through and maximize this real quick, and I will actually do this down here. So like if we look at Tesla, if you were to follow this to a T, you would have made a 55% return in the past 5,000 candles, while Tesla only went up 4%, right? Of course, there's been bigger moves, but I'm saying if you would have just like held the stock for the past 5,000 candles, you would have only made 4%. Looking at AMD, same situation. Like AMD, you would have made a 93% return instead of a 14% return. Even looking at some stocks that have like lost money, like Meta over the past year, Meta's down like pretty significant, you would have actually probably done as bad. So looking at a lot of these companies like CVX, COP is actually another company that I hit today in the past couple of days. Like COP is one of these where like you would have done 106% versus 148%. So if you look at most of these on this requirement, you're going to end up making money. Do I use extended hours? No, I actually never use extended hours basically on anything. Like I don't ever use extended hours just because it messes with shit too much. Number one, I'm never really around. And number two, I don't like having all of that extra noise. Remember, your goal, I actually have written on my whiteboard in front of me, slow the F down and don't worry about the noise. That's like in all aspects of life, but especially in trading. Like the less noise, the better, right? And so all I've been doing is entering when a stock crosses the 13 crosses up over the 26 and exiting normally when it's overbought, but really it's supposed to be when it crosses to the downside. So if we go through and look at LLY, it's not looking as hot, but we have a big squeeze here that's been happening basically since the past 3 days. You can see that the price of the stock is sitting between these squeeze points. And at the time, we had crossed down or crossed up on the stochastic RSI. It looked like we were going to break out. So at this point, honestly, LLY is not doing as well as I had expected. It's like really not doing as well. But I'm still going to hold it, and I'm probably going to set a stop loss down around 298 because that will be a break. But like another good example that of the same situation I've used on LLY was like Boeing was a good example. So Boeing had the same thing. I entered this day before. We had a cross and a breakout. Halliburton was a really good one today. I entered that yesterday, HAL. So if you look, yesterday, my criteria was hit. So on the 30-minute, we had a cross to the upside, and we had a cross to the upside on the stochastic RSI. What about when the 26 crosses the 13? Can you short at that point? Yeah, you could, Jacob. Yeah, I mean, in theory, you could short the inverse. So like, yeah, when we cross down, you could short it. Now, for me, I really like trading a stochastic RSI on smaller time frames. Like, I don't use it much on the daily, but the best case scenario would be, let me go back, would be if we cross to the upside and the stochastic is crossed to the upside. And you can see that on Halliburton, this happened to perfection. Like we ended up having that cross, and then from there, we ended up running from the time of entry yesterday up 4.5%. Now, really testing this strategy, I should not be trading options. But to get more out of the strategy, I was trading options, and the position that I closed on HAL was actually shares. So I ended up taking the shares. I'm sorry, it was calls. I actually took the calls, and the calls ended up being like, I think a 40 or 85% return. And the same situation for Roblox, like RBLX. So this position, I closed $2,000 in profits. That was like nearly 100% return. So the same situation on Roblox. I entered this yesterday. We had the same shit happen. Going into close yesterday, right? We had the cross right into the last hour. Now, the one thing I don't like about this is the fact that the stochastic RSI was not where I wanted it to be. But still, I crossed on the EMA and I closed it out today. Now, following really what I should have done is held Roblox and waited for Roblox to give me the cross down to exit. But I ended up taking profits because I was up like 100% on my options, and I was like, fuck this, I don't care. I'm just gonna close the position out and take the profit. You know what I mean? And then we'll look at like one more example would be Chevron, right? Chevron, same situation. Yesterday morning, or sorry, 2 days ago, I entered it. We had this cross, push up, pulled back. I entered around here, still crossed to the upside, and then that's where we got this rally. So all I'm doing is entering these positions and seeing what happens, right? If you look at like Kroger, same situation. Kroger crossing to the upside today, rally. CTSH was cross to the upside, rally, might cross to the downside. So for me, I'm just taking these positions and we'll see what happened. I had losses on Nike. I think BX was another one too. So that's why I took LLY. It's not looking too hot, to be quite honest, but we'll see what happens. And I think that's the goal, right? Like, that's what I want to show you guys. Like, that's the real like transparency that I want to have with you guys, is that like, you don't have to be right all the time. You could fucking lose. You could have a negative trade 75% of the time. 75% of the time you could be wrong and lose money. But if your risk versus reward ratio is set correctly, then it doesn't matter. Like, you'll still make money. Like, if we just go back really quickly on this strategy tester and we go to Tesla, right? We'll look at Tesla. This would be a really solid example. All right. At the bottom of your screen, I think you guys should be able to see this. I'm highlighting it. In the past 2 years, you would have made a 55% return on Tesla. I'm only looking for 25-30% return, guys. That's it per year. That's all I give a shit about. I don't care. I don't need hundreds and hundreds of percent return. You're not gonna be able to do that for 10, 20 years. So if you look, you would have taken 73 trades and 52 would have been losers. You would have lost 71% of the time. 71% of the time, but you still would have made a 55% return. Like, the ability to walk away from a loser is the biggest difference in becoming a professional trader and blowing your account to smithereens. It's the biggest difference. Let's go back up. Okay, where do you see Roblox and Expedia going? Let's take a look at both. Roblox, there was a lot of money behind those calls yesterday too. Roblox looks like it's probably going to push up to $60 in the next couple of weeks. To be quite honest, if RBLX pulls back today, I'm probably going to re-enter my trade. I think Roblox is going to continue to run. Expedia. Expedia looks like it's probably going to push to the 120s. It doesn't look bad. Let me see. Coinbase calls tomorrow at open. I am very biased against Coinbase. I hate Coinbase. I wouldn't personally. MACD histograms making lower highs. Money flows pointing down. Stochastic RSIs cross to the downside. 100-day SMA is resistance. I personally would not get calls on Coinbase. You are the best. Thank you, Frank. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Really like to get your opinion on NET after a big earnings continuation, please. Let's take a look at net. So, okay, this is a pretty good example. I would not chase this. It looks like it could run, but I would not chase this for a couple reasons. Number one, we're making higher highs, which is great. But the money flow is making a lower high. So that's a divergence. So we already have a bearish divergence, something I'm not a fan of. The stochastic RSI has crossed and it topped out. And the MACD histogram is sitting flat. And volume is going down. This is a sign of like a really weak push up. Right? A really weak push up. If we wanted to see a strong push up, what we would want to see is higher highs, volume increasing, MACD histogram increasing, money flow increasing, and the stochastic RSI, when it's this high, it doesn't really matter, honestly, like because of the stock, but we'd really theoretically like to see the stochastic increasing. But if the stochastic's sitting sideways, that's fine. So for me, I think that if you're in net, you could hold it, but I personally would not be chasing this or grabbing it. Like, I'd probably just take my profits here, to be quite honest. But like I said, I'm very conservative too. Like, I'm very conservative in my trading. Um, what do you think about oil now? That's a good move, man. For how do I look at oil on TrendSpider? I know Thinkorswim is /CL. I think it's like star CL oil. Oil ticker, oil futures on TrendSpider ticker. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to look at this. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go over oil. I don't know how to look up oil futures on this. I'd have to do it on Thinkorswim. I should do a video though on it. Maybe I can do it on TradingView /EL or CL. Crude oil futures. All right, let's go. All right, we did a little swapping. This looks weird. So if you look at this, I'm gonna go through and just delete some of this shit. I haven't used TradingView in a while. If you look at the weekly, we're holding a 50-day SMA, which is not bad. And you can also see that the RSI is pointing down, starting to have a bit of a divergence or a lower low, no divergence yet. MACD histogram has hit a low, which is a good sign. And the TTM squeeze is still squeezing on the weekly. Basically, we have to hold like 91 a barrel. Like that's really what's going to have to happen. There's not a lot of volume up within this range. So if we break 91, we're going to drop down to 82. Looking at the daily though. All right, let's go through and do this. It's trend line, support, trend line, resistance. So big squeeze, descending wedge. I like this. I think it's not a bad move at all. Like if I was entering, let's just say particularly on futures, I'd look to enter here, set a stop loss at 86, take a profit at 105. It's not looking bad. Oil is XLE. Oh yeah, it's the Spider Select ETF. Yeah, it looks a little different. Inverted head and shoulders on XLE. It looks good, man. Like I think it's worth a position. Nice to see you streaming, bro. Thank you, Martin. Premium member here to say hello. What's up, Jamie? Thank you. If you guys aren't part of the premium group on the free Discord, first of all, if you're not part of the free Discord, what the hell are you doing? Go check it out. Links in the description. There's over 8,000 people. Tons of free shit, courses, these live streams, seminars, webinars, free trades. And if you want, you can upgrade to get access to all my trades. Once you're over there, just go to the upgrade section and it's right here. I've been fucking killing it recently, but it's not always like this. I will always say that too. Like, and I always try to tell you guys, like, there are days where I just don't take trades. And then there are other days where I closed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades today. So it's all relative. AMC short, man. Sunshine. I wouldn't short AMC, but I should have held this thing. I think I talked about this in like one of the videos I did yesterday or the day before. But I entered AMC, bounced off the fib to perfection, and I missed like another 10% on my call. So that would have been like another 60%. So I would not short AMC or go against AMC right here. I wouldn't even chase it, to be quite honest. I really wouldn't even chase it. If you're in the bull side, play it out. If not, it's whatever. Tesla's about to cross to the downside. Yeah, so Tesla, you can see here, the 30 is about to cross to the downside. I do have a bot that entered. I don't know if you can see this here. Kind of like, but that purple says bot entry. So like I set a bot up. Let me just go through on the right side. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see the right side of my screen? You can't see the right side of my screen. Fuck. But on the right side of my screen, I have a bot set up that enters every time the cross enters on the cross ups. But yeah, in theory, like you could, like Jacob, like you're saying, you could play the cross downs too. Tesla fan, what's up, dude? Your recent buy targets on the companies you love. Any plans to enter soon, or are you waiting for Q2 2023 in case it'll bottom even more? So my long-term set, like right here, where the market is, I don't trust it. I've been saying this for a bit. I don't trust it. I have no bearish positions open. Like, I will be very open with you guys. I have no bearish positions open at all. but I still don't trust the market. I'm still in with like 34, 35% of my portfolio. But I don't end up having any bearish positions open. I had some Tesla puts. I closed them out and made like 10 G's on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. Whatever the day Elon sold. Well, it came out that he sold. And since then, like I have no bearish positions open, but I still don't trust the market. I think what I'm going to start doing is taking like a massive amount of my cash and just selling cash secured puts like deep down. But selling cash secured puts right now is not the best because premiums are low when we're pretty high. So it's not the best. But I probably will start soon. We have to see. Can you show how to set up a bot, Freedom? Yeah, I can do that in a different video. So the bot is not like, it depends on your broker, but the way that I set my bot up is it just texts me whenever that criteria is hit. And then it'll text me whenever the criteria is not, you know, and I have to close out of my position, but I can do that for sure. Killed some puts after your recent analysis. Killed them like good killed or killed them like they exploded and died? Hopefully not the latter. Neo Fangirl, I love your other channel too. I started reviewing your free training materials on Discord. Hell yeah, thank you. I try to give everything away for free as much as I can. And like, even the premium group is like 70 cents a day. And we closed out like probably 30 grand in the past week and a half. I don't want to put anything behind a paywall, right? But I do want you guys to have to invest in yourself. There's a huge aspect to investing in yourself. Like if you get everything for free, like I don't want to hide anything, but if you have everything for free, you just take it for fucking granted. Like I remember when I bought my first course on trading, that course was like $2,000. And I took that course like 9 fucking times. Like I made sure I got that $2,000 worth. And if I would have got handed that course for free, I probably would have never taken it or probably half-assed it. So it is about making an investment in yourself and in your future, you know? How about VL? Oh, let me see. After split, what premiums by options drop to 1/3? Yeah, everything basically gets cut into 1/3. Hey, Pete, how about VLO? If you guys have any tickers or anything, go ahead and throw them out there and I'll go through them. Let's talk about VLO. Or if you have any questions on trading specifically, or if you have any questions on technical analysis. I don't talk too much about that. This is a tough one, honestly. I'm really not a fan, honestly, on VLO. The 50 is going to act as a resistance. The 100 is going to act as a resistance. The MACD looks good. The stochastic RSI looks good. The money flow looks decent. There's good support here at 104. Honestly, I just don't have enough conviction to take a trade. So for me personally, I would not take the position. But if I like really had to bet, I would say that if we push through 114, we're going to get that run up to 130. But I'm not a huge fan. Oh, good questions. I see those questions coming in about risk strategy and stuff. That's a good move. Let me see. MGM. Let's go over MGM. Reb for life. Oh, no, it's just halts. I thought it was flow. All right, so let's go over MGM. Not bad. 100-day SMA is going to act as a big resistance. So honestly, I don't really think we're going to push through this resistance. I think we're going to reject. But if you are a bull on this Reb for life, I would wait for a confirmation breakout over 35.50. If we hold over 35.50, that's when we'll get the run to 40. If not, I'd be setting a stop loss around 33, personally. Now I see there's an EXT ticker box. Yeah, when there's the strategy, there's the EXT. I don't do that. Who do you think controls the market more? Retail investors, bots, market makers, or corporations? It's definitely not retail investors. Bots and algos are like definitely a thing, but it's more so just, I mean, market makers will control it. It's more, in my opinion, it's more so hedge funds. and market makers. Those are the bigger things that and that will move the market itself. Because you have to realize, like, like a hedge fund itself can't move a stock itself, right? Like, they fully can't. That's why, like, for me, like, I'm really just following what big money does. That's all I'm doing. I'm following, and whatever happens, happens. They have more resources, more money, more time, more everything than we do. So that's why I follow them. But there's a lot of, I'm going to curse, but there's a lot of fuckery that happens in the market, and you have to learn to accept it, and you cannot get upset by it. It's just the game that, is played. Pete, thoughts on VLO? We already went through that. Let me see. Miss McChicken. CHPT is going up. Let's take a look. Charge Point. Yeah, Charge Point's kind of the same situation as Plug. Like, we've just rejected on this 200 SMA every single time. There is a decent wedge, but to be quite honest, like, I think we're going to reject here. I'd be taking profit. How about day trading Tesla today or the next few days to ride the swings? If I was going to take quick trade, I think Tesla's going to drop down to 840. I'd be grabbing puts again. But like I said, I don't feel that confident to where I would actually take it. Warren Buffett, invest in what you know. Exactly. Coinbase is easy to hate. Dude, I hate all of crypto. I hate Coinbase. I hate Robinhood. I freaking hate it all. Richard, what's up, man? What's the best way to keep trading notes, i.e. regular notepad, save chart notations, trading view, or software like MyFX books? I just have a little notebook next to my computer, and most of the time with notes, I really document my mental state. I don't really document too much like tickers and stuff. Like, I document my mental state, because I say this all the time, but like, you have to think to yourself, like, how do you feel? Right? I said something like, oh my God, there's so many fucking trolls. There's so many little babies in the comment section sometimes. But I said something yesterday or 2 days ago when I was in those puts, and I said, I felt nervous. I don't ever feel nervous. You guys know, like, I am never nervous. I pride myself on taking such small positions relative to my portfolio that I'm never nervous. But I wrote down in my journal, like, I'm a little nervous about this trade. This is 10 grand in puts. I don't ever get 10 grand in puts, which is like a 5% of my portfolio, 6%. It's a pretty big percent of my portfolio. I never risk that much, right? So when I write down, like, I feel worried, I feel nervous, I feel that I'm checking my phone more than I normally do. I feel that I'm watching the 1 minute chart when I have no reason to, right? I'm looking for confirmation bias. I feel that. Those are the type of notes I keep. And that's why I closed out my position, because I was like, I should not be this way. I should not give a shit what happens to either side. And so for me, like, I usually just keep a little notebook, written down everything I feel. Trading View is good too. Like, one thing I do, there's a note section in Trading View to the right, or sometimes, like, I will just write a note directly, like, on an area, like, key resistance. We have rejected here 4 times in the past year, and I will just keep something like that there, just to remind myself, right? Because your mind plays tricks on you, right? And the market plays tricks on you, so you don't want that to happen. Why do you hate Oh, this is gonna be a great question here. Would love to hear about SIGA. Let's talk about that. And TQQQ. Tongue, TQQQ. You really want to watch QQQQ? I would not be taking TQQQ. Honestly, I think QQQ can push up to like 331, potentially 340, but I don't think the risk versus reward playing the bull side on a triple leverage ETF right now is quite worth it. And I still don't think playing the downside, so I don't think playing SQQQ is worth it at this point either. SIGA. I would not touch this. No, it is way overextended. This thing is bound to pull back to 1750. Personally, wouldn't touch it. Gosh, missed the early part of the video. What's the strategy on Tesla short term? Personally, I'm not touching Tesla right now. I have long-term shares, but I'm not going to do anything with it recently. I was testing the strategy of a 13 EMA cross up through the 26, but it looks like it's about to cross down. If you look at BNGO, Belloc, I looked at it earlier. I personally would not touch it. If you're in it, you can let it ride, but I personally wouldn't touch it. If you look at Baba, let's take a look. I mean, long term, I think the company's really undervalued. Seems like we found a bottom on the weekly. MACD looking pretty good, actually. Stochastic RSI crossed up. Money flow pointing up. There's a lot of squeezing. Like, I'm not a huge fan, but it does look like it can run back up to 115. I'm not touching it, but I'm touching it long term. It's very true. I should say I'm not trading it. We talked about oil, Halliburton, offshore companies. Oil's rich. Yeah, it's true. Oil's rich. You show how to set a bot. We'll do that. Let's go, champ. What's up, Josh? Swing trade on Google. Let's take a look. Google has a solid pivot point here at 120. If we can hold over 120, I would take a bullish trade up to 128. If we can hold over 120. Kosh, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Thank you. Make sure you guys check out the free Discord. The link is in the description. Come hang out and chill with us. We basically do this every day. Not live stream. I do want to live stream every day. It's just I can't stop once I start. You could sell calls instead of puts. Yeah, so I could do that. I could, but I don't have 100 shares yet. I want to work into that. I can do that once the split happens. Wish. Let's talk about Wish. Let's do this up, Jamie. I don't like this at all. Quite honest. I don't like it. You said cut it. I would probably cut it if you're down 50%. Like, personally, I would cut it. I don't like the company, and I don't like the setup. Like, there's just so little volume. Like, for me, I just wouldn't touch it. What is your strategy on Tesla, and how do you set the risk? So long term, my strategy is just getting a decent price, like, you know, pre-split, like the 450s, 600s, if that happens. But mainly, I just sell cash secured puts on it, just because the premiums are really high. And I'm doing the 1326 cross too. What's the time frame on MRK, and am I still holding? Yep, I'm still holding, and the time frame is the daily chart, so I think it's probably going to take about a week to kind of break up. Where can I trade like you? If you want, you can go to the Discord. It's in the description. It's free. Go to the upgrade section, and you'll get access to... I'll actually just do this because I don't show this much. But once you're in the upgrade section, you just go here. It's $25 a month. It's literally like fucking 70 cents a day. And you'll get access to the premium section. So like our premium chat, Tesla premium chat, our live stream recaps. And then you'll get access to my room. So like all of my open positions, all of my day trades, all of my analysis and charts, all of the unusual flows. So like I posted those MRK flows. A great example here is yesterday at 2:50 p.m. I posted these Roblox flows. This dude made $1 million today. Good for him. And then you get access to all of our senior analyst trades. So like Angel's trades, who mainly trades options. Tommy's trades, he mainly day trades options. He has his own room. Callan, he has his own room. He mainly like day trades and swing trades. We do have crypto alerts. I don't trade crypto, but a lot of people ask about them. And that's ran by Angel. So you can go ahead and join that down below if you want to get access to my trades and stuff. What's your time frame for MRK? We talked about that. Buy course for trading equals NAB. I don't know what NAB means. I don't know what that is. I'm a boomer. How to deal with setting stop losses on Tesla when it's so volatile. So here's the thing. When it comes to stop losses, how much is your premium? $25 a month. And it's like free for the first 3 days. One of us made $1 million yesterday. Did you? No, like the guy who bought that Roblox flow yesterday on Blackbox made bank. What's the question? How to deal with stop losses on Tesla. So here's the thing when it comes to stop losses, right? It's all about relative risk. You either can set a hard stop loss, like a tight stop loss, or you can use a smaller position size and have a wider stop loss. That's what I like to do. I like to take a smaller trade and then make my stop loss double. So like, let's just look at Tesla, right? Let's say you're a bull on Tesla. And if we're breaking down this trade, let's say you were to enter your position here at 873 and you believe Tesla has a lot of room to run in the next 3-4 months, right? If we were to enter our position today, I would set a stop loss down at 813. Now, the reason I'd set a stop loss at 813 is because that would be a break of the 100-day SMA and the break of the 50-day SMA, or the break of the 100-day SMA and the break of the 22 EMA. And there's so little volume under that, it's definitely dropping down to 740 if that happens. So I'd set my stop loss at a 7% loss, and it looks like if we do get this breakout, we're pushing up to 1100. So looking at this trade, we have a 4 RVR, right? So it means a 27% potential return for a 7% loss. I'm completely cool with that, right? But let's say that instead you wanted to like run your stop loss down at 800 or a little bit down at like, 790, right? That move right there, you could, instead of going in with a full trade, you can go in with half of the trade and allow more wiggle room in your stop losses. For me, I would say that if you're having troubles with stop losses and getting stopped out due to volatility, because that happens a lot, remember this, right? Please remember this. Market makers see your stop losses. They will see your stop loss. They will drive a stock through support. They will watch everyone stop out and they will buy that shit up quickly. So please remember that. This is a great example here on Tesla recently. So if we look at Tesla back on August 1st, August 2nd, August 3rd, and August 4th, right? It's a really good example. Everyone knows, or everyone should know, that if Tesla breaks over the 200 SMA, this thing is going to fucking run, right? Because there's no volume up above that. So everyone knows that if Tesla breaks over the 200 SMA, like, we're going to Sizzler. We're running. So what happens is we break over the 200 SMA, a ton of people probably got caught in calls. We break over it the next day, more people get caught in calls. Break over it the next day, more people buy calls, because that's what you, quote, should do, right? Wrong. They know that you have a shitload of calls up here. They know that your stop loss is set under the 200 SMA. They push it up. They trap you into buying the run up. Then when it dives below, you stop out under the 200 SMA. All these people are getting stopped out today in the past couple of days. And then I'm not a betting man, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla rallies up to $1,000. And then you say, shit, if I would have held, I would have made a ton of money, right? Hit the like button, guys. We have like 289 people. It's fucking amazing. So you have to remember, there's a lot going on. They can see everything you're doing. So for me personally, that's why I take smaller positions, because I can allow my position to just chill for a bit, right? I it's like a terrible metaphor, but I say it a lot. It's like baking cookies, right? Like, you don't want to take the cookies out too early from the oven and, get stopped out too fast. But you also don't want to leave them in there and have a bunch of burnt cookies. Like, you don't want that. You want to have the perfect amount of cookies at the perfect temperature, let that shit do what it's going to do, and if it works out, that's great. So for me, if you're having trouble with stop losses, whether that means you're not stopping out in time or you're stopping out too early, use less money. Use less money. You can always scale up, right? You can always scale up. Have you seen a bot or a way to set a trailing stop loss for the top side, meaning when stock runs above the target to let it run and then sell? Yeah, I mean, you can just run like a trailing stop. I think that's what you mean. You just run a trailing stop. But the issue with a trailing stop is that when there's a ton of volatility, you have to deal with that. And you might get stopped out. I don't ever run hard stop losses, ever. I never run a hard stop loss. But I've been doing this shit for 8 years, and I am like an assassin when it comes to cutting losses. Like, I don't think twice. So if you are someone who is worried they're not going to cut a loss, then you should probably, set hard stops. Are you touching Twitter? No, I'm not touching Twitter personally. Short term, no. I think we're going to reject it 46. Long term, no. I would rather get into Meta. I think Meta is a much better deal right now. Would you take profits from before or after the split? It really depends on what your position is, Josh. I don't think it's gonna take that big of a. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal, honestly. What are your top 5 indicators to use on TradingView? Oh, this is a great question. All right, so if I only have 5 indicators, I'm running a volume profile, which is this horizontal volume bar over here. I'm running a volume profile. I am running a 200-day SMA, which is this yellow line here. I am running a money flow down here. So that's 3. I'm not counting normal volume because like it's fucking volume. But yeah, volume would be 1. That would be 4 if I had to. And then I'm going to run a 22 EMA. It's really all you need. The 200 SMA is going to show you with major trend direction. The volume profile is going to show you the big areas of volume. And then your money flow is basically going to act as an RSI and show you with money coming in. And then from there, that's when you can pepper on like an 11 EMA, a 50 SMA, a stochastic RSI, a MACD. Like most of the time, I'm not looking at trailing indicators except for like money flow. Let me see. Why do you hate crypto? Also, why do you hate Robinhood? Everything I can find out is about brokerages shut off the bottom, but Robinhood gets all the hate. All right, so this is a phenomenal question, Rocky. Why do I hate crypto? So, it's not necessarily that I hate crypto. It's just that for me, I cannot trade something that's constantly moving. Like I am a huge proponent of mental space and you know, you're protecting your brain. And I can't imagine trading or investing in something that's constantly moving. I like my sleep. The second thing is that I hate the amount of scams that are in crypto. So I just don't really pay attention to most of it. And number 2, you guys are probably going to kill me for it, but I think that like 99% of all these coins in time will be worth nothing besides Ethereum and Bitcoin. And so for me, it's like, I just kind of look at crypto as a hedge. And I personally would rather buy crypto than gold, but there's many other things I'd rather buy. And it doesn't interest me, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time learning it. That's my major reasons. And then the reason I hate Robinhood, I think the user interface is phenomenal. I will say that. Like if you're brand new, like they actually do a phenomenal job with like making shit easy. My issue is their customer service is garbage. Garbage. Like when I first started trading in no, that was probably like my first 2 years. Like after that, I started with Robinhood because I was tired of paying $7 to trading or Thinkorswim per way. And I went to Robinhood and I remember like their options, it was when they first got options. It was like 2017. And like the whole shit shut down for like an entire 2 hours. And I was day trading something probably ridiculously like weeklies and something that you should never do. And I missed out on like $400 worth of profits. It took them 5 days to respond to me. And I got a $50 Amazon gift card. And I don't like that I can't call them, right? Like if I have an issue with my account on Thinkorswim, I can get on the phone and I will be in contact with a representative within 2 minutes. I can chat with somebody online. I'm not going to give a broker my money and I can't even contact them. I just don't trust them. I think they're slimy. I think they're snakes. And if you have a small account, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But like, I'm not going to go putting $500,000 into a company where I can't even get them on the fucking phone if something happens, you know, for me personally. Miguel, I have 100 grand to invest. If I sign up for your premium, how do I follow your trades? And can you explain what the premium offers? Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Like I'm just going to straight up say this. You could just go in and start following my shit blindly, but I really wouldn't recommend that because if I die tomorrow, you can't rely on, like, I'm not here to trade. But if I had 100 grand, I would say, don't even worry about that. Take all of the free material, read all of the free books that we give out and that I'm currently writing a book right now. Start with a small amount of money, paper trade, and practice, or just follow with a small amount, right? And the premium comes with, like I said, all my trades. It also comes with all of our other analyst trades. It also comes with the premium chat, which I hang out there as much as I possibly can. And on top of that too, you get access to the unusual options bot, or not bot. It's a black box that I just take the screenshots from. It's not a bot. It's not like one of those like TrendSpider bots or not TrendSpider, TradyTix. Not TradyTix. What the fuck is it called? You guys know what I'm talking about, like Flow Algo or one of those things. It's not that. That's $25 a month. Now there is a private mentorship group that I do not ever talk about because I do not actually want a ton of people in this. But with that, you will get everything there, plus all of our courses. There's like 65 hours worth of courses and lectures. And the biggest thing is you will have direct access to me. Like, I cannot respond to everything on the free Discord and the premium Discord. That's like just the trades. But if you want like direct access to me at all times, that is over there. And the link to that is in the description, or you can just go to dfcinvestments.com. But I don't ever promote that because I do not want, like, I actually don't want thousands of people in there because I can't respond. But yeah, I would say like the biggest thing, Miguel, is like 100 grand is a lot of money. And you want to focus. This is for anybody, whether you have 1,000, 100, or 200, or a million. The goal is the system. To build a system, right? The goal is not to make a ton of money, right? I posted something today, and I don't know if they meant it that way. So if you're listening, I'm sorry if I'm coming off like an asshole. But we had a student just cross $1.5 million in my mentorship group. And he posted today. He started with me. He had like 800 grand at the time, and he just eclipsed $1.5 million. And that's been like a year, I think. And I posted that within the free Discord as like, dude, look, like, this is possible. This fucking dude is killing it. And someone said like, oh, 800 grand. Like, he started with 800 grand. Like, insinuating that turning 800 grand into $1.5 million isn't fucking crazy. Like, insinuating like, well, if I had 800 grand, it's like, dude, really be honest with yourself, right? If most of us here had $1 million and I wanted you to turn it into 2 million, it's not easy, right? Like, a lot of people are like, well, I wouldn't have PDT rules and I wouldn't have, like, dude, I'm telling you, when you have like 25 grand in a position, like, it messes with you mentally, right? I always thought that if I could get around the PDT rule, that like my life would change drastically. Newsflash, it didn't. Go ask anybody who's over the PDT rule. It didn't help. It doesn't. Like, it really doesn't make that big of a deal. Like, so it's something to realize and to do that. But for me, like, Miguel, I would say, like, if you really want to do it, like, make that mental commitment to yourself. Like, like you're gonna treat this like a career, and you'll be more than fine, dude. You'll kill it. And shoot me a DM if you need anything, and we'll talk about that. After the split, will you sell your shares? No. I'm not going to sell my shares personally, no. What's your plan for the Apple puts I took? TAC, they're probably going to expire worthless. Yeah, Apple blew right through that resistance. I'm not always right. Those bad boys, I'll probably be like a 2 grand loss. That blew right through. I thought we were going to reject up here on this Head and Shoulders up around like 157. That shit broke right through. So I'm definitely taking the loss on that. It's probably like $1,200. TSLL, what's your thoughts? New Tesla, is it really a Tesla leveraged fund? Is that serious? Dude, that is that really it? Oh my god, it's actually a thing. That is like the most degenerative, Jesus Christ. I would not touch that now. I have to look into how it's balanced, but I have to look as to how this thing is balanced. But most of these leveraged funds are gonna really decay pretty rapidly. But I have to look at how it's the fund is held up. PayPal, Square. I like PayPal long term. I would not touch Square personally. I would say I wouldn't touch it. I would say that I would get PayPal over Square. I like it long term. But I think PayPal might reject here. But I do like PayPal a lot, Joshua. You still think we're going down in the next few weeks? Manuel, I do think so. But remember, I say this a lot. Trust someone's actions, not just what they say. So yes, I do think the market's going to go down, but I don't have any bearish positions right now. So obviously I don't think it's going to go down that much. What do you think about the LLY call? I'm holding it. I mean, like, it's down. I'm going to hold it till tomorrow, maybe Friday, or tomorrow is Friday. Shit. I'm going to hold it till tomorrow, maybe next week. We'll see. If we snap 300, that's when I'll look to walk away. Brett, can you look at Snap? Let's take a look. Ooh, this is a good example. All right, hold on. This be a good example. All right. DraftKings. Some puts. I don't care about that, though. This is a big call. All right, so in real time, this is normally what I do. Go over to the Discord at everyone. big sweeps on DKNG for September. Over $2.38 million. That's a big buy. So like for a bigger cap company, like that's really not that big. This is a big buy. So let's take a look at DraftKings. I don't like this. This is actually a really good example. So I'm going to add this to the watch list, but I don't like this. So DraftKings, big calls coming through, but I don't like the way this is setting up. I think it's too overextended. So now, instead of just entering it because there's flow, I'm going to wait to see if we can pull back to $17. I'll add this to the watch list. These calls have some time. They expire in October, so I'm not going to enter right this moment. But the LOY, so we're looking at Snapchat. So we're looking at, let's take a look. I'm not a huge fan of Snap. Honestly, like I think it's probably going to drop to the 7s, like you said. Their earnings were really bad. We broke that point of control on the weekly, which is just nuts. I think we're going to drop to $4. Alrighty, let's see. One of us made $1 million yesterday. How much is your premium? I already talked about that. How long you're holding LLOY? Probably tomorrow or so. Hit the like button too, guys. I think we have 190 likes, 300 concurrent viewers. Good shit. Let's go. I love these live streams. They take up a lot, but I love them because I feel like it's such an easier time for me to, number one, just be like me and not like Captain YouTube, like, what's up, guys? It just gives me a chance to be me, and I feel like it's better to teach too. Like D, do you see the gap on Tesla? 745 to 730. Peter to the moon. Let's go. Yeah, there's this gap down here. I see this one at 750. Where's the 735 you're talking about? It's probably there. Oh, man, that's a 425 gap. I don't know, but I do see a gap down here at 750s. 200 SMA on what time frame? Daily time frame. Let me see. Blue sky. Cup and handle is formed only in an uptrend, which means a continuation of the trend. Here we have a downward trend. Cup and handle has no business. You're an amateur. Yeah, you're right, blue sky. Must be an amateur. Doing this for 8 years. Thousands of people watching me. Made 35 grand last month. Must be an amateur. But yeah, I mean, like, you are right. Normally you would want to see a cup and handle up on the top. And that's why I'm saying I'm not taking the position, bro. So let me know if you have anything else you want to talk about too. 200 SMA ergo. Yeah, it's always 200 SMA. I cannot pronounce your name. I'm very sorry. What happens to a stock when there is a lot of short interest? It's a really good question. So Sam, you're cool. I just have to block your cursing. Dude, I really do have to block my cursing. It's a problem. But I try to not curse, but I also try to not like filter myself, because I feel that if I filter myself, I will not fully be who I am. But I do understand some of you guys are like driving around with kids in the car and stuff, or like might be at work. So I will try to not curse. Let me see. What were we going over? All right. So thanks for answering your concerns about Robinhood. What's the money flow called? I can't find it with Street Smart Edge. What is Street Smart Edge? The money flow? Oh, you're talking about money flow. Yeah, it's just the money flow index. MFI money flow index is the indicator. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the unusual flow. Let me see. Oh, what happens with short interest? So like every stock is going to have a short interest percentage, but when you have a huge amount of short interest, it's going to push the stock down drastically. I talked about this with GME a while ago, and they put me in a GameStop documentary on Hulu, and it's like a 5-second clip of me shit talking GMC, which is hilarious. Or GME. But normally when there's a ton of short interest, the way that a short works is that somebody, normally a hedge fund, borrows shares against the short or against the stock. And as the stock goes down, they can cover the short, aka buy the shares back and they keep the middle. So when GameStop was up at $98 and I went short, which I didn't, but if I would have went short at 100 and then it dropped all the way down to 50, I would keep the spread. So for every one share I went short on, I would have made $50, right? That's how going short works. Now the inverse, where if like I would have went short at 50 and it went up to 100 and I had to cover my short, the only way I can cover my short is actually by buying back the shares, and then I would lose the spread between them. And I'm also getting a ton of huge interest on that as well. So what happens is when there's a ton of short interest, there's a ton of shares in specifically GME's case. We're going to talk about this. But in GME's case specifically, there was 140% short interest, which means there were more shares short than there were shares in existence, which is massive here. So when there's heavy short interest, it's going to hold the stock down. But once the stock starts getting pushed up, they have to start covering the short. The only way they can cover the short is by buying a share. If no one's selling the share, then they have to continue to put bids in up, and up. So short interest does affect the stock. You know, maybe not long term all of the time, but it will affect the price of the stock. 200 SMA, we got to talk about that. Don't buy gold. I'm not buying gold, don't worry. Thanks for answering your concerns about Robinhood. I do love the simplicity. I think they added a phone and live chat support due to exactly what you said. So many people complained. If they did do that, that's really good. My thing was just like, I need to be able to get in contact with someone who is going to be holding my money. Always take profits. What's up, bro? Let me see. All right, we're going to hop off soon. So let me kind of go through some of these. Being over the PDT rule doesn't change your life at all, but it does make things easier. Exactly. It doesn't change, but it does give you the better risk to the downside. You can cut the risk out, which is very nice. To make 1.5 mil from 800 seems to double their money 20 times the mental health it takes to do it with 10 to 20 grand. Yeah, making 100% return in a year is freaking insane, man. Like it's nuts. It's really crazy. I shoot for 20% a year, which is still, and as you scale, you cannot actually like going from 100 grand to 200 grand is different from going from 100 million to 200 million. You don't have the liquidity. How long do you think you'll be holding the AbbVie shares? Probably another day or two. Like, I want to see if AbbVie can push up through 142. If it can, and we can start to fill the gap, that'd be great. If not, I'll just take the profit where I am. We'll see. Do you like to trade Tesla swings, or are you just a long-term investor? No, I trade both. Like, I think, let me see if I can go to my positions. So I have a long-term position in Tesla, a very small one right now, relative to the amount that I want. I'm not gonna be able to go back, but I think I've taken 4 Tesla swing trades in the past 2 months. They've all been puts and made about 30 grand on them. Long-term, you guys are probably gonna want to kill me. But I do agree with you. I think it's overvalued right now. And it doesn't mean that it's not a good company. That's like from a fundamental investing standpoint. That's the biggest thing I want you guys to understand. A company can be a great company, but you can still overpay for it. If I go and buy an amazing condo on the beach in Santa Monica, it doesn't mean that it's a bad property, but I could overpay for it, right? That's kind of how I feel with Tesla right now, which is why I haven't taken a massive position in Tesla. It's 1/3 of the position that I want, so that if Tesla does rally and I never get to average down, I'm still in the company long term. But if it drops, I have a lot of capital to go ahead and buy more. Why do gaps fill? Seems odd. Honestly, it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's all it is. Sam, you're cool. I just have to filter to block your cursing. You're very inspirational. No one else encourages me like you do. Dude, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I curse too much. It's really bad. It's really weird. So I can't even hang out with certain people. Like, you put me at like a dinner table with like another CEO of like a company and I sound absolutely insane, but I don't care. GRLF penny stock at a bottom currently 10 cents, offering currently at 0.007%. Do your due diligence. I will take a look at that, but honestly, I don't really mess with penny stocks. Double O Lin, what's up, Pete? What do you think of FOUR? Let's go to a weekly. What is going on? Trend spider. What? I think my trend spider just broke. What the hell is happening? Okay, there we go. That's GameStop. FOUR. There we go. Personally, I wouldn't touch this at this point. I think we're gonna reject it $52. Yeah, there's a huge point of control in the weekly, point of control in the daily, 200 SMA resistance that is reject that before. I personally wouldn't touch it. What's your take on buying leaps and selling calls against the leaps? Can you sell a call against a... I don't know if... I guess it would depend on your broker because you don't really actually own the shares. Like, you would have to sell a naked call. Personally, not what I would do. If you want to buy the shares, then it's whatever. And then sell a cover call against that. It's not bad. Eric, curse, man. It shows passion. I think it does. You know what it is? This is my biggest thing. It might sound weird and wrong, but I feel that people who curse, like, they don't, like, it's more authentic. Like, I feel like it would be weird if I, like, got in a suit every day and, like, got up here and was like, today, the stock market. Like, I'm just gonna be myself, man. Like, I want to be as relatable as humanly possible to you guys because I want you to look at me. This is my ultimate goal. I want you guys to look at me and be like, dude, he is just like me. Like, he's not smarter than me. He's not more talented than me. He's not, doesn't have something I don't have. Like, I want to be as, like, as relative to you guys as I humanly can be. Like, I say this before, but, like, I'm a convicted felon. I've been to prison. I've dropped out of college 3 times. I dropped out of high school twice. Never finished. Like, I'm just a normal dude. Like, I don't, like, you know what I mean? Who just dedicated myself to a craft and, you know, put the time in. Like, that's really it. So, I mean, most of you guys are probably significantly smarter than I am. Right? I don't even know how to fucking do math without a calculator. Like, so, probably are. Let's see, let's go through. I agree, be yourself. We like the educational skills. Thank you so much. Say what you want. Thank you. Yeah, I just don't want you guys to, like, not be able to, like, listen to me in front of children or some shit. Some stuff. Prison. Wow. Yeah, I went to prison for 14 grams of weed and sat in jail for a year. 2010, baby. That might have been 2012, back when it was, like, not how it is now. Talked about 4. I had chili for dinner. Should I cancel my date tonight? Probably, Rory. I don't know. It depends on how chilly. I don't want you to shit your pants while you're at dinner, dude. It's probably not a good move. Let me see. Do you have a video on your chart setup, indicators, etc.? Yes, I do. I have a whole, if you go to our free Discord, link in the description, plugging it once again. If you go over there and then you go to the courses and seminars section, where is it? I just can't find it right now. Courses and seminar section. If you go right up here to the technical analysis course, it's a completely free course. Like, no bullshit, no sign your life away. Give me your email and I'll blow you up every day. It's a completely free course. All about technical analysis. Gives you, like, everything that I trade with and why to a T. That's why we like you and the channel. Say what you want. Thank you. Let's go. What sector are you most bullish on? It's a really good question, man. I think a lot of small cap tech companies are really, really undervalued right now. Like, really undervalued. PayPal, Uber, CarMax, GoodRx, Pinterest, Sleep Number, HP, Rocket, Meta. These are all the companies I'm selling cash secured puts on. And then I think are extremely undervalued. It doesn't mean that there's not better companies out there. There are. Like, Apple's a phenomenal company, but it's not undervalued. Short the dollar. I mean, yeah, if you could, like, 20-year short on the dollar, I would. Do they let you day trade in prison? We'll get to that in a minute. I say the P word and everyone's like, what did he do? You're awesome, man. Thanks for all the free help. No problem, Rick. Let me see. Prices relative to outlook in 10 years. I completely agree with you. If you do look at Tesla and you pull it out 10, 20 years, it's probably undervalued. You're right. Is Tim Sykes fake? He has a student program as well. I don't like shit talking other people who are like in my space, even though I'm like a small fry. But I don't like I wouldn't say he's I wouldn't say he's fake, but I wouldn't say he's honest. I think that's the best way. Like taking photos in Lamborghinis and getting everyone to short penny stocks. I think a lot of times they pump those. Like, I just see the way that he runs his business and I don't like it. Right? Like, I was watching, this is funny enough, my girlfriend watches this terrible show called Below Deck. And it's basically like these people who run a yacht and they like work on the yacht. And it was the first season and it was Tim Sykes. Fucking Tim Sykes was on this show. This is like 10 years ago. And it was like the scammiest thing I've ever seen. Like, he had like 10 of his top students who paid him like 30 grand a piece, that he's basically taking their money, paying for this boat, and he's showing them how to trade while they're on this boat. And it's just like I just don't think, like, I just don't trust it. And there's a lot of shit too. And I don't trust this either, but there's a lot of shit. Look at where people get paid. That's the one thing I would say. What's his name? Paul from Everything Money. I really like that channel. If you want like a long-term investing channel, go check out Everything Money. But watch where he gets paid. Watch what they talk about. Watch how they present themselves, right? Like, I will always present myself in my manner. I will never buy. Oh, I'm still live, man. Dude, I don't even know how long it's been. But like, I will never buy a Lambo and run ads. Like, I will never do any of that shit. Like, I don't know. To me, when I look at Tim Sykes, I think that 99% of people cannot make a living shorting penny stocks and shit, right? So, yeah. At the end of the day, for me, that's the thing. That's the thing I would look at. Let me see. Go through. Where it talks about that. Talked about this. Tesla. I like Tesla long term. Wouldn't touch it right now. That's my thing. That's my K1 and Riz. If it pulls back down to support, I might enter. I don't know. I don't see it dropping to the 700s. Joel, I do think it will drop to the 700s. That's why I haven't gone in totally. Prison. Wow. 14 grams is only half an ounce. Yep. Well, so here's the thing. This is how the whole prison thing happened. We'll talk about it in a minute. So I got my first DUI when I was 16 for marijuana. All I had was a roach in the car. I got my second DUI when I was 17. Marijuana. I had a roach in the car. And so I I guess double offended. So I got like hit with both of them at the same time. And I got like 7 years probation. And then when I was 23, I was about to come off of probation. And I had a friend who was coming out of a halfway house that I was in a band with. And he was like, listen, man, I need somewhere to stay. Can I stay with you? Like, they won't let me out of this halfway house. And I was like, all right, dude. 2 things. Number 1, don't do the H word. Don't do drugs, and don't steal from me. He did both. That's what he did. So he did both. I ended up kicking him out of the house. And somebody told the police that I was selling pounds of marijuana, which I wasn't. And so they went through my trash, found some like bags with weed in it. I was already under probation, so getting a warrant was like very easy. And then they like flashbanged my front door on a Saturday morning. The door was open and they still used a battering ram. Like, guns drawn, like, where's the drugs? Where's the money? Like, cutting holes in my couch, busting out drywall with dogs and stuff. And like, all I had was 14 grams and literally just $20 in my pocket. That was it. And I went to jail and I sat there for 9 months. Because I had no money to fight the case. So I had no money. Are you from Pennsylvania? I'm trying to get that, bro. Yeah, I'm from PA. I'm from Philly. So I got that Delco accent. But yeah, so I was in jail for 9 months because I had no money to fight the case. And I had to fight 3 cases at one time before they would totally let me out. It was the dumbest shit ever. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, going to prison was the best, single-handedly, best thing that could have ever happened to me. Don't go and do it, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like to a T. Most valuable lesson you learned about prison and the do's and don'ts. They let you day trade in prison. They don't let me day trade in prison. What's the most valuable lesson, dude? That's a really good question. I don't want to get tin hat shit right now, but like the most valuable lesson I learned in prison is that this entire world, entire life is a game. It's all a game. And that can be used in the most negative way and in the most positive way. Right? Like when I was in prison, I was sitting there and I was like, how do these old rich white dudes make so much money? Like how? Like how do they make so much money? Like how do they do this? Like how do they do? Don't tell me you're from Kensington. No, God, shit, no, no, not at all. But no, no offense if you live in Kensington, but it's actually coming back on the up and up recently. But yeah, just realizing like there's just like things are not the way they seem, you know. Like I got out of prison and I went to school for business, and I remember like in the middle of my business class just being like, I asked the teacher, like, how many companies have you ran? Like, have you ever been in a C-suite exec job? Like, none of them. And I was like, dude, my fucking teacher is teaching me how to run a business, and he has never ran a business. Ever. Like, my teacher makes 40 grand a year. How the fuck is he going to teach me how to make $1 million a year? Like, how does that make sense? And like those types of things where I'm like, this makes no sense. Like, what the hell? And that's when I realized like, oh, it's just a game. Like, it's just a game. And last year, I'm not bragging, but a felon who couldn't graduate high school, couldn't graduate college, did $400,000 in revenue in my company, not even including trading, just the company. And I talk like I'm from Kensington, and I curse like a sailor. I got big gauges in my ears, and I just don't give a fuck. Like, that's like, to me, when I realize like you can break the matrix and you can do whatever you want and you can be whatever you want, and it doesn't matter, like that changed my life forever. And prison taught me that, because I realized like this is just a game. Like the system puts you in place to make you feel important as a like I'm not gonna go sideways, but point is, yeah, that's what I learned the most. You can do whatever the hell you want. And investing in your education as a human being, investing in not formal education, screw formal education, but investing in yourself is the biggest thing that changed my life, man. Like learning how to public speak, learning how to be more articulate, like learning all of this, like that stuff is to a T the best thing. To talk about MRK, we'll talk about that. MWT, so what's your company? So I have two companies that are basically wrapped into one. DFC Investments is the main company. It's a real estate investment company. And then the second company is basically the YouTube channel and the private mentorship group. So the private mentorship group is limited to such a small amount of people. I don't care to make a ton of money that way. Like, I could have 1,000 people in there, charge $300 a month and make bank. I don't want that. Like, I don't want that shit at all. I don't want that many people. I can't help that many people. And so I started basically a side company. I bought my car, and a lot of you guys were asking me, like, how can I get a hold of your trades? And so I offered the premium role, and I started this Discord community for free, like November of last year. And there's 8,000 people in it and 448 paying members paying like $25 a month. So like this was supposed to be a side hustle that's now making like 11 grand a month extra. So it's all like just invest in yourself. Like that's the biggest thing. Read books, invest in yourself is the biggest thing I learned. Long time ago, I heard your testimony about your past and I was in tears, touched my heart. You expose criminal trading companies that rob us all over and charging us. Thank you, Peter. No problem, man. Yeah, I mean, you can be whoever you want. You can do whatever you want. I know it's so like, classic, but like it really is, dude. You can do whatever you want. I think I read somewhere, and it's true, that if you read 3 books on any topic, you are in the top 90% of those people. Like you're in the top 90%. Like if I read 3 books on like how to brew beer, I know more than 90% of the population on how to brew beer. But the difference is going from that to a fucking master is different, right? Like if you read 3 books on the stock market or like technical analysis specifically versus like me doing this for 8 years and like instantly being able to look at a chart and like laying out lines, like that's the difference. That's where mastery is. Hoping Tesla goes back to the 6s, bro. I hope so. Now you have money. Now you could countersue. It's true. I could countersue. It could. Let's see. Where do you think Tesla? Let's go through. Cliche. It's very true. Bullish on the split or not? I don't think it's really gonna matter, honestly. Public speaking is so damn important. Reading and writing. It's very true. Public speaking, like guys, biggest thing you want to learn right now. I want to start an entrepreneur channel, like just teaching, like really just helping, and talk more about like interpersonal communication and stuff. But I'm gonna do that when I retire in like maybe 5 or 10 years. It's probably what I'll do that. I'm gonna wait till I fully retire so I have the time to put into it. But if I wanted to start making more money today, I would say personally, like learning copywriting and marketing, and like those are the most important things you can learn. Join your premium because you seem very realistic, financially conservative, and relatively humble. Thank you very much, Ergo. Yeah, that's my goal. I try, man. I try to be as authentic as I possibly can. Which business has given you the biggest boost in your income? Dude, for sure. I want to address this too. This is really good. Let me get a sip of water. So I'm dying. Starting YouTube and starting the trading company, like teaching you guys how to trade, has been the biggest boost in revenue ever, right? For 3 reasons. And everyone asked me, like, if you make so much money trading, why do you teach it? Why do you sell courses? Number 1, why the hell would I not want more money? That's just stupid to ask. Number 2, right? Number 2 is if I want to go buy a piece of real estate, right? They will not give me a loan based on my trading account. They don't care if they've seen that I made 35 grand in like the past month. They don't give a shit if I made 100 grand this year or this month. They don't care if I make $1 million this year in trading. It's too risky for a bank to go and give me money. And the biggest thing you can learn to do is to properly leverage the bank's money, right? I have a friend who's a banker. He's my banker. I've built a really good relationship with him. I take him out to dinner every month. They won't even talk to you if the only way you can make money is trading. This is why I try to tell everybody within my private mentorship group, and I'm telling you guys now, trading is not your only way out, right? Trading should be a tool of your arsenal. So the reason that the trading company has been so important, right, is because I've become a better trader by teaching you guys how to trade. I've become a better trader. Sharing my trades with you guys has made me more accountable. Because if I lose, you lose. If I win, you win. So there's a lot more on the line to share my good trades with, like to share all the trades with the team and make them good trades. So it has made me a better trader. I'm making close to 50 grand a month between the mentorship group, all of my one-on-one coaching, as well as the premium role and YouTube, right? So I'm making 50 grand a month from the company. And on top of that too, now, because I have the company, I can take that 50 grand a month and go buy real estate, right? So if the company makes 500 grand this year, I can go control theoretically a $2 million, $5 million property. So that's why that boosted my income so much, because it opens the doors for so many other things. And then I can do an entire course on real estate. I can do an entire course on whatever I want. And a lot of people are like, the whole selling a course thing, right? It's like, I completely agree with you, but I think it's just that people have unrealistic thoughts on courses, right? Like if I told you, all right, listen, you can go to school to be a finance major. You can spend 40 grand to get your bachelor's degree. And then once you get your bachelor's degree, you can get a job for 45 grand a year. Most people don't think that's insane because that's normal. But for some reason, they want to buy a course for like 100, 200 bucks. And then if they're not like a professional trader within a month, they're like, what the fuck? I got robbed. Right? Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, are you kidding me? I have spent probably close to 100 grand on my education, and I didn't go to college. I have mentorship calls every week with people. I have 2 psychiatrists that I work with, one for myself and one with my partner, because I feel that you should not go to a psychologist if you have the money to do it, to go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist only when shit's wrong, right? I invest a lot into myself, and I think that's where your biggest amount of your money can be compounded. But that's the biggest business that's given me a huge boosting income, and it's just made me a better person because teaching, it's hard, man. Like, it's not easy. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of DMs every single day, comments. Like, it's great. It's just hard. Let me see. Need to buy a house, and I'm worried no bank will lend me the money. I have perfect credit record, but with only small amounts. I spend so little, and I have no salary or wage. Unfortunately, ergo, I do not think you will get a mortgage. So is this for you, or is this a rental property that you want to invest in? So your openness and vulnerability is very inspiring. Thank you so much, man. So for me, when I bought my first property, JDH, he wants to talk about real estate too. So ergo, you can do this, but I did this for an investment reason. So when I bought, how do I acquire the one-on-one mentorship? So I will go through, I have to post the link, hang on. Gino, shoot me. I don't think I have the link on here. Here, this is the link to the mentorship group, but then shoot me a DM when you're done, on Discord. But I'll put the link to the, mentorship group in there. So when I got my first property, I had a ton of money, right? Not a ton, but at the time it was a lot. I had about 100 grand, and I had started trading. I did a lot. I did really, really well. And I wanted to buy a place because I wanted to live there, right? And I wanted an investment property. So I found a duplex that was about 150 grand at the time. This is 2017, 150 grand. And I did my comps, and I realized that the house was really, really undervalued. And this is really terrible, but I'll teach you guys this if you ever want. What I was doing is I was looking at obituaries. Please don't judge me. But I was looking at obituaries. And normally when old people die, they have assets and properties that younger people don't want. And so I saw this guy was trying to get rid of the house locally in the neighborhood. He had like a for sale by owner sign in the driveway of the property. And so I went and I door knocked, and the guy who answered was his son. And his son said, yeah, my grandparents died. They left this to my dad. My dad lives in New Jersey, which is like only like 40 minutes from where I am right now in Philly. But he was like, he just doesn't want it. Like, he doesn't want to deal with it. And the house was like in good condition from what I could see, but it just needed work. Like it needed new carpet or new flooring. It needed to be painted. It needed updating. So I had no money. I had money to buy the place. I had no credit. I had never had a credit card up until 2017. I had no credit, and I had no solid income. My income was only from trading stocks. And like I said, the bank doesn't give a shit about that. They'll take it as like asset, like money towards a property, but they will not actually take it as income. So I did the craziest fucking thing that I could do. I found a random person to come in on the deal. They put no money up at all, and I gave them 10% of the company, and I just used their credit. It ended up I don't care if he's listening. It ended up working fucking terribly. It was terrible. Like, I still made money on the property. I still did really well, but the whole partnership was a shit show. Basically, he got a wife. The wife was terrible and destroyed the deal long term. But still, everything worked out well. That is something you could do, is look, is look for somebody you can go in on a house with and give them a small amount of the pie. But that's how I started my journey. And then from there, I was able to have better credit and started, a couple of the other businesses I had that real estate company was bringing in money for me that I could use. But real estate's amazing. I think the biggest thing you have to realize with real estate is, like, at the end of the day, you're not going to become a millionaire quickly. Like, your guy's biggest goal, right? Biggest goal in life should be to up your income, right? I'm going to be straight honest with you. Make more money, right? People always say to me, like, I have $1,000. Like, what should I invest in? And I'm like, bro, go buy some books. Like, I'd love to sell you on a course or something, but, like, that shit isn't going to help, right? Like, turning 1,000 into 2,000, it's not going to change your life. But taking a course on how to become a, top 1% real estate agent for $1,000 and then spending $250 to get your real estate license, you could go from making 10 grand a year, 20 grand a year, 30 grand a year to 100 grand a year in a single fucking year. It's 1,000% return on your investment. That's what I would do. If you have $1,000, go take marketing classes, go take public speaking classes, go take dance classes, dude. People know how to dance. Like, it sounds stupid, but, like, not a lot of people know how to dance. And people who know how to dance, they don't care about looking stupid. They make good money too. It's a really weird thing, but it does. That, like, learning how to dance really helped me. Markets are about to bleed, hopefully. All right, guys, my throat is shot. I've talked your ear off for way too freaking long. Link is in the description if you guys want to get access to the Discord. It's completely free. As an old white dude, I'd like to make some money. I got you, Ron. But yeah, I want to do this more. I really do. Link is in the description for the Discord. Go and check it out. It's completely free. If you want, you can upgrade, get access to all my trades. If you guys want, you can go to dfcinvestments.com or go up to the link I posted. Join the mentorship group. I'm only going to keep like 5 spots open. I'm not saying that as like this marketing fucking gimmick where I'm like, only 5 spots left. We're closing today. But like, I just can't deal with too many people. How to message you? Gino, go to the Discord link. I will actually post the Discord right now. I want to turn off my messaging because so many people message me, but I just absolutely can't, turn it off. So go to that link, Gino. And then once you're over there, you can message me directly via Discord, or you can email me at peterricarlo@dfcinvestments.com. I'll put that link there. What's your company? DFC Investments and Capitalist Academy. Those are the 2 companies. My family does not understand that. I have skills that are more profitable than most real estate. Listen to me, guys. Seriously, one last thing before you hop off, right? I want this to be known because you said that. Your family does not understand. Your family will not understand. They are too much part of the matrix. I love it, but my parents had no idea. My girlfriend didn't even fucking know. She's too part of the matrix. I worked for 7 years for free. I made nothing. I never had a regular job. Ever. I worked at a law firm for a little bit. Found out the guy was a hack and just went to prison for robbing a bank. That's another story. But I made no money for like 7 years. And then my first year trading, I made like 20 grand. Then 40 grand. Then 50 grand. Then 100 grand. Then I think the highest I've ever made in a year trading was like 150 grand. And then last year, or 2020, I made the most money in a year I had ever made across everything. And that was like 200,000. 2021, I made 310, or no, 2021, I made about 400. And then this year, I'm hopefully going to make around 600 grand. That's before the government destroys you. That's before you pay people. But yeah, I mean, if you invest in yourself, you can scale at like a ridiculous rate. JDH, love your insight. Have a great day. Phenomenal live stream. Learned a lot. Fuck yeah, guys. Have a good day. Peace.